Hello YouTube, this is Shane from Australia. Today we're starting a new topic called Python, or Adventures in Python. I am quoting from a book called Adventures in Python, available on Amazon.com, written by Craig Richardsons. I really do recommend this book. Explains in simple language how Python works. Now, what is Python? Python is basically a simple or to high-end programming language used in most GUI and web applications. Very simple for humans to read. And what Python language does is it will convert your code, which you enter into a Python shell, which I've got these two a shell here open at the moment, and that will convert it into binary code, which is your ones and zeros. And that can be read by your computer's transistors, and it performs functions. So what I've got open here is I've got my Python shell open up here, and I also got my little notepad, my new file, which I just do here by just clicking new file, and it opens up a new file. But at the moment we only need one new file at the moment because we're just working on one simple command. The first command I am going to show you is simply just your print command. So you just type in print, and then you type in a space, as you can see up here. Then you type in your little special characters, and then you just type in the word you want to print. So I'm just going to print the name of the book, which is AD in Python, and I press enter. I'll go to the module. Now I do need to save the module first, so I'm just going to save the module as Python 101. Now as you can see here, now I've saved it, I run the print command and it's printed in the Python shell Adventures in Python. Now what we need to now learn is your variables and raw input function, which is pretty useful when you create programs. This is really beginner kind of stuff. What we're doing here is we're just going to create a story on the computer. Now this story works by the computer asks you what's your name, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite book, yada yada yada. You enter the keywords and then it will auto-populate a story. Very basic, just using a couple of variables and the raw input command. I'm going to quote from this book. So on page 37 of the Adventures in Python book, it quotes that using variables, 2 seconds, I'll just read to a relevant part. So it explains that a variable stores a value that it can be reused later in a program. All variables have a name and a value. Variable names are used to identify a variable. The value of the variable can be a number, a string, a list of items, and a few other things. And then we go into a function, which is a usable bit of code. It can be used without needing to rewrite the contents of the function. That's a different subject altogether when we're looking at the def function. So I am a student, studying this at the moment. So when I learn, I pass this information on to YouTube. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a fill-in-the-blank story, really simple story, to teach you about how variables work and how raw input works. So we're going to write our first line of code here, which is your person's name. Now keep in mind when using Python, Python is very case sensitive. So person name, see how it's got a capital N? And if I type in another variable, which is person name without capital, this and this, even though they say the same thing, are two completely different variables, because one has a caps for the N in name and one does not. So just remember with Python, it is very case sensitive. You've got to be on the ball when it comes to caps lock. So the variable is going to be called person's name, and this variable is going to be equal to a raw input function. So I'm just going to put in a little function here, raw input. So now I've typed in person name equals raw input. 2 seconds. I'm going to go back. I made an error. Person name equals raw input. So that's your raw input command. That's basically it's a command for the computer. The computer is asking you to, it's asking the end user, which is yourself, to enter information. Then we want the computer, actually, how's the computer going to ask you how to enter information? So here you type in a command of what the computer is going to ask you to do. So the computer asks, what is your name? So now we've got a person name, which is your variable. We've got a war import command, which is the computer asking you to enter information, and the computer is going to ask you to enter information by saying this, which you enter in between these little special characters. Now it's going to say. Now I'll just go over this again. We're going to create another variable, which is an object. Enter object. So we want the user to enter, say, an object. So this is the variable, a new variable I'm creating. It's just an object, and that's going to equal another war import. And the computer's going to ask you, let's say, what's your favorite drink? So what we got here is we got your variable, we got your war variable again. It's just a computer, that assigns a value to stores as data in your computer, and the computer's gonna then ask you a question. It's gonna ask you what's your favorite drink. I misspelt that. What's your favorite drink? Now we're gonna create another variable. Let's create another variable called place. For this variable, I'm not going to use caps lock. I'm just going to use, simple place with no caps. And the place is going to be like, what's your favorite place? So I'm just going to do another war import. War. What's your favorite place? So the computer is going to ask you 3 questions. It's going to ask you, what is your name, what is your favorite drink, and what is your favorite place. This is all up in the code here. Now I believe what we need to do is we need to enter a print command. So well, first we got to enter in the story. So I'm going to put in a variable story, and this is going to be the story that the computer prints. So story is going to equal person's name. So we're going to type in the variable up here. So the story equals person's name plus a print command enjoys to drink, and we're going to enter the variable, so we're just going to enter a little plus. So we're going to add another variable, and we're going to type in a variable and object. Which is the variable up here. Now we're just going to put in another place. Excuse me. And the computer, we're going to continue the story at the computer's just going to say at, and then we're going to add the last variable, which is just place. So here, so let's see here, the variable story. Story is going to equal person's name plus the print statement, enjoys to drink, plus the other variable, an object, plus a print statement, which is at, plus place. Now, a print statement, it's just, you know, special character like this, special character like this, and, you know, the statement you want to print in between. Higher versions of Python require you to put this in between a print statement, but I believe I'm using a lower version of Python at the moment, as it's required by the book. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to enter the print story. So as I showed you at the start of the class, print, you can basically print something to you know, make a statement. So I'm just going to put print, here's your story. So when doing a print command, you can do a simple print, here's your story. Now if you're going to want the computer to write back to you, you put this special character here, your apostrophe, I believe it's called, you know, those things. And then you just put, you know, what you're going to, what you want the computer to say to you. Now I'm going to do another print statement because I want the print to also print off I want the print statement to also print off a variable. So I'm going to print again. And I'm just going to simply write in a variable, which is the story. So there's two print statements here. It's going to say here's your story, and then it's going to do another print command, and then it's going to run the variable, which is this variable here. So see the story here, that matches to that variable there. I don't need to put those little apostrophes in here because print in a variable. Now I'm just going to run this command and we'll see what happens over at the shell. Okay, looks like we do have an error here. Person's name equals war input. Computer asks what is your name. War input is not defined. Now I am aware that some, if you ever get this error, just delete the input war. Because some of the older versions of Python used to use war input, and it's one of the annoying things about Python, they do change their commands. So I'm just going to delete the war. So it's here, I'm just going to delete the war, and I'm just going to use the command input. So I'm going to run this again, and let's see if it works. So as you can see here, it's now working here. All I simply did is I just removed the war in front of the input. So the computer's asking, what is your name? I just type in my name. I press enter and asking, what is my favourite drink? My favourite drink is cider. And what is your favourite place? The pub. And I press enter again. Then it's going to print my story. Here's your story. Shane enjoys to drink cider at the pub. Now you can see here I should have included a space in my story. This is a little error, happens from time to time. In order to fix this, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go back here and I'm just going to simply enter a space right here. So I'm going to enter a few spaces. So, because it's really, you know, sensitive Python. So as you can see here, I entered a space after the word name, I entered a space after the word drink, and I entered a space after place. I'll tidy up a little bit, and I'll put a little question mark here. Well, I'll put a the in here. I'm going to put space, so I'm going to put a few spaces in here. Now, I believe that's all the spaces I need. I might need an extra space here, and I might need an extra space here. So I'm just going to run this again. I'm going to press F5 as a keyboard shortcut to run it again. So it's again asking me what is my name here, so I no longer need to enter a space, so I just type in Shane. What's your favourite drink? And what's my favourite place? Pub. Press enter, and as you can see here, it's put in the spaces for me, and it just says Shane enjoys to drink cider at the pub. So that's basic commands for using your print command, as you can see up here, which just prints a statement. You can also use the print command to print a variable, And with your variables, just remember they're really case sensitive. So person name with a capital N will be a different variable to person name with no capital N. Sometimes with Python, if it does not like war input, so that's your war underscore input, which is what we used first, and we got an error. Sometimes it doesn't like that. Just delete the war underscore input and use the input instead. So just regular input. That way you don't get this little war input is not defined error. So basic stuff to get your head around. I'm still learning this, ongoing in my 3-year bachelor's. But I'll pass this information on to YouTube. Helps me learn, helps everyone else learn. Anyway, I'll make another video later. Just gonna enjoy my cider. See ya, YouTube.